sharing. Okay, good. So today I am so excited. Oh, see, I've got to use gallery. Today I'm so excited because it's Wednesday, 12 noon. And on Wednesdays at 12 noon, what we really focus on is our VIP group or building our community. So I know this is very fundamental, but I'm going to recap it anyway, which is that the reason we want to have a group or a community, whether it's on YouTube or school or Go High Level or LinkedIn or wherever. The reason you want to have this community is because this is a place where you can actually keep talking to your potential customers or your people that you're going to be working with or whatever your community is. Now, you could have a community of people who do a lot of different things, dance, garden, ski, all those different kinds of things, correct? And I completely love that. Um, Hold on for just a second. My phone, my computer is acting a little strange, guys. Oh, here we go. Okay. You can have a community of people who are doing a lot of different things. Shopping. I belong to a community of people who love QVC because I love everything to do with home shopping. So that's something. On Facebook, I found communities of people who do all kinds of things, including sell or work or market on other platforms. So it's really amazing to me that you can use one platform to help you build on another one, but that's what we're talking about. So when I was talking with my BFF this morning, Brenda, we were talking specifically about what we should talk about today. And our favorite topic that we've been talking about for, I guess, no less than, I'm going to say we've been talking about this same topic for no less than a decade. Would you agree, Brenda?
I think so.
2014, it probably precedes 2014 for me and you talking
Yeah,
about this.
it
I
does.
bet it's more like
20
15 years.
years for me.
Yeah. And I bet it was about 50. Well, no, it was before that because we started talking about this before I even met DJ. So this has been a long time. And this is the topic. What's your niche? Who are you selling to? So I encourage you right now to grab a pencil or pen and a piece of paper. And you might even want a notebook on this one because this might be something that you want to create into a longer term project for yourself about your niche. And the reason I say that is because it's going to evolve, of course, but there's a lot of pieces of the puzzle of a niche. So let's play a game just to set the ground rules first of understanding a niche. And we're not going to do one around anything specific because I think it makes it a little easier when everybody is on the same page. Let's make our niche around brides. Would that be okay, Brenda, if we use brides?
Sure, that's general.
It's really general, right? Yeah, that's a
Hmm.
good one. So let's talk about brides. So the initial demographics of a bride, now obviously there are brides of all ages, correct? And there are grooms of all ages, and there's lots and lots of different kinds of weddings. But let's talk about brides. What's the age group of our bride? Or are we even going to think about the age group? We probably should because different ages have different needs. Let's break our bridal group down into decades. So we have the 20 to 30-year-old, 30 to 40, 40 to 50, 50 to 60, that kind of bride,
Hmm.
and break that down first because that's going to really indicate the attitude and the psychographics of the individual bride and the individual person. So let me ask you this, and everybody just decide on your own what age group you'd like to work with. I think for demonstration purposes, let's go with 40 to 50 just for entertainment's sake. That's no other reason. I have no horse in this race, so let's just go with that. So a woman who's getting married, who's between 40 and 50, are we going to look at people who are having their first marriage or their second marriage or later? So is this their first marriage or are they having, is this the second, third, or fourth marriage? We'll go with first marriage. Okay, this is their first marriage and they're between 40 and 50. That's kind of an unusual demographic, isn't it? Because a lot of people get married younger and then remarry, right? What do
Right.
you
See,
think?
I was thinking that's the opposite. I was thinking second marriage plus.
Perfect. So that's going to be your demographic, and mine will be first. So everybody playing this game can, it doesn't matter. It's like a deck of cards. You're just going to pull a card out of the deck. Okay. So that's really, I want you to think about that's what deciding on your niche is. It's really just a deck of cards. I wish I had a deck of cards because that's exactly what it is. You're pulling a card out of the deck and deciding what your niche is going to look like. So Brenda's niche is going to be between 40 and 50, and this is going to be a second or third marriage. I'm saying between 40 and 50 and a first marriage. Next, we're going to pick where they live. And by where they live, I mean part of the country or the world, but I also mean, do they live in a single family home? Do they live in a city? Do they live in a farm? Do they live urban? Like where are they? Where do they live? Next, I'm going to pick income level. What is their income level? Are they making $250,000 and up? That's what mine would be. Mine would be $250,000 and up. I'm imagining a group of women who are high level executives who've always put their career first, no children. I'm imagining somebody who does a lot of athletic activities. Maybe they do yoga and Pilates. Maybe they run. They don't cook. Maybe they dine out quite a bit. What are you imagining, Brenda?
Not the same thing.
Okay, great. Does your group have children or adult children or grandchildren?
Adult children, not necessarily grandchildren.
Okay. Do they like to travel?
Oh, I think so.
Yes, definitely. So you start asking yourself questions about this person and creating this person. So that's just a game. That's what we were just doing was we were playing a game. Once you flesh out your character, your avatar, your person, your niche, I'm going to tell you that a really good thing to focus on is to journal about this person and write stories about this person and create dream boards. Maybe dream boards is a bad word, but a collage, like maybe a photo collage of things that this avatar person really enjoys.
Oh, I like that.
Do you guys remember a game um, called Dungeons and Dragons?
Hmm.
Dungeons and Dragons also, let me shut my door, also always reminded me of Barbies because I remember that you had to create a character. And you were creating a character that was a living being that was going to make decisions and take actions. And that's what I'm talking about. The person that is your niche person is making decisions and taking actions. And you are learning how to understand what that person is doing when they're making a decision to use you as a vendor or to buy from you or to, um, be for you to be there for them to be your customer. They're making decisions. They're actually, what are they doing when they're making those decisions? And this morning I had a really interesting experience. So this is off topic, but I want to share it anyway. I was doing some work in a group that I'm in, and I started reading about this one new vendor in the group, young woman, two little kids. She started by showing her two children. This was really cool. It was a video. And she said, these are my two kids. And what we're doing today is we're riding bikes. Hi, and she said her name. And I live here I think it was somewhere in the South. And she says where she lived. And she says, the reason I decided to start my own business was because I wanted to contribute to the family. Actually, I'm sorry, she said that last. She told about her family. Then she talked about her husband. Then she um, shared about what it is that she makes and does. And she started talking about what she makes and why she enjoys it. And then she talked about how doing this business that she created was so that she could contribute to the prosperity of her family. And I fell in love with her. And I said, I want to buy from her. I just loved it. She started by talking about her kids. She didn't tell a big story. She just said, these are my two kids. We're riding bikes today. And then she went on to talk. And I thought, oh my God, I just love her. I want to buy something from her. I didn't even know what she sold. Right? That's happened to all of us. But she actually got inside of what I'm looking for in a relationship and with people that I do business with. She got inside of that. I love helping her family. I love that she's so creative. I love that she's passionate about what she does. Have you done a video like that? To talk to your avatar. We got to know who your avatar is first. Your niche is first. So, in our line of work, I got to thinking about this. I just talked about know your person, all that stuff, know the attitudes, all that stuff. Let's flip it around. I want to put it on its head. So, put a pin in what I just shared with you. You've got a book. You're going to work on that. You're going to journal about your niche person. You're going to make a collage. You're going to be really thinking about who this person is. Flip it on its head. Go to the other side of the book. Tell me about your business. What is your number one best selling product in your entire company? If you're in direct sales, I don't mean what is your best selling product. I mean, what is the company's best selling product? Number two, what is the least expensive product from your company? Now, I know a lot of companies have broken parts sections of their catalog. I'm not talking about that. I'm not saying, oh, this company has a replacement straw. That's the cheapest thing. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about real products, not replacement products. What is the least expensive? What's the most expensive? So what's the most commonly sold item? What's the most and least expensive? Now do the same thing for yourself. What's the number one product that you sell the most of? And I don't want you to guess. I want you to go back and look at your sales. I want you to be really, really serious because you are going to be biased about what you personally like the best, which leads me to number three, section number three. What's your favorite product to sell? Or is it a kit or a bundle? What's your least favorite product to sell? When you start evaluating your company from the outside, what happens? You become less attached emotionally to it. Now I want you to think about each one of those subsections that I just shared with you. Incidentally, I just want to give you a little hint. This is the kind of questions that when I work with a traditional marketing client, a dentist, a doctor, an advertising client, and any kind of client that I had, these are the questions I ask those clients. You can ask Brenda. I've asked her these questions before, but it's really important that you know this. But this is what I want you to do now. I want you to take it to the next level. Who's your biggest competitor? The only way you can decide that is who else sells something similar to what you think is the number one product from your company, your favorite product, your least. You're going to have to think about that. Now, if you sell a product that is only manufactured or made by you, only created by you, I want you to think of something in the same industry. Okay. I want you to be around that industry. In other words, let's say that your company makes spaceships and you're the only company that makes spaceships and your target market are aliens from Alpha Centauri. I want you to think about other modes of transportation for other people. And I know because we can play this game and put up blockades to this game, but this is only for you and this is only a game and this is just a way of you expanding how you see your target market. So now that you know that, now that you know I have this person that I have in mind and now I have these products that I have in mind, we're going to do a Venn diagram and do those things overlap? Oh no, I forgot the third part of the Venn diagram. I just had two circles there, didn't I? We need three circles to make it a Venn diagram. All right, this is the third circle. Who's your favorite person to sell to? Your most favorite person to sell to? Who do you love to sell to? Why? What's so great about this person or this group of people? Do you love to sell to soccer players in Scotland? Do you love to sell to astronauts in Russia? Who is it that you're wanting to talk to? Is it Alpha Centaurians? And this is why. Because whoever it is that you're resonating with, I want you to think about why you want to sell to them, what it is that really drives you to care so much about that market. Let me share another story with you. I was working with a client many years ago. She was a coach She had her PhD. She also lived in Maryland. This was a client I could go and visit regularly. And she was very passionate about what she did as a life coach. And she really liked working with women. And we talked about that. And then she wanted to start a nonprofit organization, which she was very passionate about as well. But before she even did that, she told me who her avatar was because I went through these questions. And do you know who her avatar was? Young women under the age of 20 who were homeless, pregnant. That is her favorite person to help. Because why?
Hmm.
Because it was so gratifying. She was really helping these people, really helping them. What were the two biggest problems?
Couldn't sell them anything for one.
Why not? Because they would buy, wouldn't they buy? Weren't they interested in having a life coach?
I don't see them having disposable income for that, but
Well, you mean because they were living on the streets mostly because they were homeless?
uh-huh.
Exactly. There was no one who could pay that bill. So as much as she loved that, that isn't a job, that isn't a career, that isn't a business. That's a hobby. That's a passion project. So absolutely part of her business needed to be that part, which was the give back piece, right? But that couldn't be the main piece because she couldn't pay her bills if they couldn't pay her. And the other problem was this. This is really important, and I want you to really hear this. She wanted to help them. They didn't want to be helped.
Hmm.
The last thing they cared about, the last thing they cared about was going and meeting with a woman once a week, twice a week to talk about stuff that was going on in their life to move forward. Because at this moment, at this very split second, they were pregnant, didn't have a place to live, and that was first and forefront of their brain. So I'm sharing this with you to say, when you're thinking about your avatar, it can be it can be who you are most passionate about helping, but it doesn't mean that they're the ones who are most passionate about being helped. In other words, if I'm looking for 50-year-old brides who've never been married before, who want to have a first wedding, and I want to sell big fluffy wedding gowns, that might not be the style and the look of a 50-year-old woman having her first wedding. She might want something, that style of a person might want something different than what a younger person might want, right? And a different venue and a different kind of a wedding. I would imagine that a lot of people who are having their first wedding that are at 50 probably want something more like a cocktail party or a destination wedding, not like a Saturday morning big church fluffy gown, that you know what I mean? Like there's a variety of different things going on here. So who's your favorite person to sell to? That's really important. Second of all, or next part of that, I want you to look at who you've sold every single product to, not who you've given product to, not who you've given samples to, not who you've talked to about the business or the product, but every single person that has come to you with eagerness and their own money and bought from you. Is that a different group? Highly different group, right? I mean, in my business, I desperately want my family members to want my products. That doesn't mean they care at all because they're not in the same space as me. I turned 55 in December. One of the things that happened for me mentally when I came into this year was five's my lucky number. Double nickels was a big year for me. I wanted to go into this with a newfound vision of what my health would be moving forward, and I knew it wasn't going to be quick. When I was 25, all I had to do was add one extra night to going out to the club and do one extra hour of dancing to burn off those calories. I stopped drinking beer and I started drinking water and I cut those calories and I was healthier and I'd done more cardio. I'm 55. That's not my life anymore. So you're in a different place, or the customer is in a different place. So when you're looking at who is your best customer, be brutal. No one else is going to see this notebook but you. So let's recap. Let's go back one more time. Who do you want to sell to? Who do you feel is going to be the best person for you to sell to? That's awesome. You know that. You want that. But when you come all the way through all those questions, you're going to see a different picture. What's the best selling product from your company? What's the least expensive and most expensive product from your company? What's your favorite thing to sell and your least favorite thing to sell? What sells the best that you've sold? Really look at the invoices. What is the number one best selling product? Really look at all of your customers. Is there any similarity between your customers? I'm going to tell you this is very personal for me because who I wanted to sell for was a different sex from the person who I was selling to. I thought I wanted to sell to men. Guess who buys from me? Women.
Same
People.
here.
Aha, there you go. Same with Marianne. You think one thing, you have a vision. Now look at reality. And that's your community. And that's who you're going to focus on. And once you answer all of those questions that I just went through, all those questions, now you can think about your book and your notes and think about what those people are thinking about and decisions they're making and understand what they're thinking. And now you can start making your picture board, your collage of all the things they're interested in. So, my personal target market, women age 45 and older, really 50 and older, with adult children or grandchildren, or no children at all, mostly no kids. No ties to children, actually, just other adults. People who love to travel. Not even I work with, my friends are people who love to travel. The people that I talk to the most are people who are also like me, interested in getting their health back on track. I am not saying that these are people who go to the gym every day. Some of them are, some of them are not, but they're people who want to get their health back on track, or they want to keep their health on track. That's vastly different from sick people who want to get healthy. And the reason I make that distinction is because in the beginning, I was a sick person wanting to get healthy. When I was initially introduced to the company that I'm with, I did not care at all that this was a health product because that didn't matter to me because I thought my health was stuck in a bad place. But I was interested in making money and I was interested in not going back and having a JOB. I was interested in being financially independent. Another piece of the puzzle, another card in the deck of cards. And if you can come up with, oh, time, Brenda, you're so right. What do you mean by time? Tell me about time, Brenda.
I'm talking about this session.
Oh, the time. Yes, we're 10 minutes over. I knew we'd go a little bit longer today because it's more of an intense conversation. Okay, I'll leave you with this. Last piece of the puzzle. This little book, these little ring cards. I have a couple of them. What I did is I purchased these rings. They're plastic. They snap apart on Amazon. I got little ones, these little rings, and a hole puncher from the dollar store. I challenge you to come up with things about your avatar, your person. Maybe you're going to have multiples, so maybe you're going to have multiples of these that are really important about your avatar. Punch a hole, put them on a ring. That way you always have them at hand. That means you can add things, subtract things, make notes on them, carry them around. Now, of course, I also suggest Google Keep, which I suggested yesterday. Absolutely. But sometimes you need a visual. Sometimes you need something that's tangible that you can say, my person likes to travel, but only nationally, only in the continental US, or only continental US, Mexico, and Canada, doesn't like to travel overseas, something like that. Yeah, get specific, make your notes. Thank you guys. I'm glad you stayed with me longer today. I thought today was a lot of fun talking about the niche and your avatar. And I think we're going to continue this conversation in terms of your community. This is going to be very helpful because you're going to know who to talk to, what you're going to talk about, and which groups to join to go find those people, right? You're looking for that avatar. You're going to need to go to where they are to learn more about them. Thanks, guys. I will see you next week.
Thank you, Julia.